Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, and this is going to be the start of my next vlog. This is actually vlog number 9, I believe, and I'm really happy because I finally have been able to kind of, I don't know, get myself to do weekly vlogs. This is the 3rd week in a row that I have done a weekly vlog, so I'm really happy that I finally was able to get started on really doing this and kind of, I don't know, just get more and more comfortable with doing this, to be honest. I'm actually kind of just trying a different background, so I've been kind of, if you've been watching the vlogs recently, I've been kind of experimenting with different backgrounds for the start of this vlog, because usually with these vlogs I like to kind of give you just a little bit of an idea of what my week is going to look like. I'm actually recording this on Sunday. Usually I start recording these on Monday, but I just really wanted to kind of get started with this week because it's honestly going to be a really, really busy week. So yeah, without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started with saying this. Please like the video if you haven't already. Please subscribe to my channel if you want more content from me like this. I'm actually really happy with what I've been putting out so far, and I really hope that you guys are enjoying it too. And comment down below if you'd like to see me do anything during these vlogs. If you want to see more B-rolls of the stuff that I do, if you want to hear more about what I'm doing at school, or more about the books that I'm reading, I really want to get your input as to the content that you've been enjoying out of these vlogs. I've just been enjoying doing these vlogs regardless, so if you want something specific that you just aren't getting enough of in these vlogs, or special videos besides the vlogs, then please let me know. Yeah, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you my bullet journal. I always like to kind of get started with kind of telling you the main things that I'm trying to achieve throughout the week. And again, it's kind of similar. I'll just quickly show you. It's the same setup as what I've been doing the last 2 weeks, except this time I'm kind of having it be more of a yellow kind of theme to it. This week is actually going to be a really, really, really busy week for me. I have so much schoolwork that I have to get done, plus some videos that I'm hoping to record and edit, and also just some other odd and stuff. First of all, I have to bring my car to the shop because so if you saw the end of the last vlog, I did kind of a little B-roll about us going to Darien Lake, which is an amusement park close by to where we live. I've been really wanting to go with my fiance Lucas. He's been trying to get me to go for the entire summer. We finally were able to go with a couple of his friends that were visiting for the weekend. We finally were able to go, except that trip was just a little less fun than we were expecting it to be. The trip itself was amazing. I loved the time that we spent at the amusement park. It was just the ride down and back that was a little bit stressful because my car is, I've had it for 7 years. It's had some issues with the transmission, and it really hasn't been too bad except for yesterday. It actually kind of failed on us. We were able to still drive, but the transmission was having a really hard time kind of switching between gears, and it was just struggling really hard. If Lucas wasn't there, I don't know how he would have been able to get back, to be honest, because I was stressed out driving it with it having these shifting issues. But we were able to get back home, obviously, since I'm here. It was a little stressful, but I'm gonna have to bring it to the shop. So that's one of the first things I have to do, is bring the car to the shop to be able to figure out what's going on with it. I'm really hoping that it's nothing too serious. If it isn't anything too serious, I'm gonna have it fixed. If not, it's kind of old and I don't like it too much anymore, so I might have to get a new car. I'm really hoping not, because I don't really want to have to do another payment plan. I paid off this car years ago, so I haven't had monthly payments for it. But I might have to have monthly payments again if issues are bigger than what I was expecting. So that's the main thing I have to do to start. But other than that, oh, if you can hear that, I don't know if you can, that's my computer kind of going crazy. I'm actually rendering a video right now. It's the last vlog. That's kind of a main thing I have to do that's very out of the ordinary. I'm probably not going to be able to work out tomorrow because of that. And that's another reason why I'm kind of recording this initial talk of this vlog now, because I don't know how busy I'm going to be on Monday. So I really want to make sure that I kind of gave an intro to this video now. So that's kind of an out of the ordinary thing that's happening this week. Other than that, I have a lot going on with my school, like I had mentioned. For my communications class, I am going to be submitting a milestone for my final project. So for the final project, I have to kind of do some more research on the artifact that I found, this advertisement. I'll go ahead and show an image of what the advertisement looks like. It's kind of creepy because of the mouths with the child, but basically I have to kind of tear it apart and look at it as term of elemental designs or design elements. Basically what that means is like I have to look at like shape, texture, typography, the emphasis on certain elements of this of the image. Like I have to kind of break it down into all of those different elements, and then kind of describe like what elements are being used more in the ad and what the significance is, like what it's providing to the message of the overall advertisement. So I have to work on that this week. I have to do some more readings for that class, and I also have to do a different kind of assignment for that to kind of get me ready for the next part of that milestone for the final project. But the majority of my work is actually in my graphic design class. So that class hasn't been too busy for the most part these first 2 weeks of the semester. This week, however, is when stuff really starts to happen. So first off, I have a lot of readings and videos and tutorials I have to go through to be able to like understand a lot about color theory for the class, and also to use Photoshop a lot more. But the main thing is basically I have to find a bunch of photos and color palettes for what my final project is going to be, which is basically a collage of like different images and fonts that are incorporated into the name of our business. So like we have to come up with a name for a business that we would want to run. Mine's gonna be Wizard's Craft because that's like the business that I already kind of started. We have to like use that with a font, and then within the block letters we have to show like a collage of images that kind of relate to our business. So we have to find those images, or at least 5 of them, and some fonts that we want to use, and we have to submit them for the class to be able to kind of take apart and kind of say like, hey, this image is really good, but this one isn't so good. We have to do that before Thursday, and we have to comment on other people's pictures that they had submitted, and then use the comments from our class to be able to make changes and adjustments before we submit it for real. Then I also have to do an assignment for that class as well that has to do with color theory. And yeah, that's pretty much it as far as the work that I have to do for school. It might not sound like a lot from what I just said, but it is going to be a lot of work. Like there's so much readings for the graphic design class by itself. I'm a little nervous about all that work that I have to get done this week. But besides that, I want to edit some more Pokemon videos. I have up to episode 7 edited already, although I have recorded up to episode 10 or 11 as of right now, as of recording this. So I'm almost done recording episodes for the month of September. So I want to edit episodes 8 through 11. Yeah, so basically the ones I already have recorded. I want to edit all of those before the end of the week if possible. I also want to edit this vlog, obviously. And I also want to try and get my prep work for my D&D session. So where the magic happens, I am trying to get ahead with my prep work so that I don't have to worry about it as much. Although I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do this week. That's kind of why I was trying to get ahead. I want to try and finish the prep work for like the main area that they're going to next. I've been doing a lot of that work over the last 2 weeks, but I'm trying to finish it up this week so that way that's all done and I don't have to worry as much about it. And honestly, if I have to take a break from there, I will. But I'm very close to finishing typing and making the maps for that, so I want to try and finish that this week. I also obviously want to work out. I don't know if I'll be able to work out tomorrow because of the car issues, but I'm going to try to work out at least on Wednesday and Friday, maybe even the weekend since I won't be able to work out on Monday. And as far as reading is concerned, I want to finish Legendary. I'm really close to finishing it already. I have about 150 pages left of it, so I'm hoping to finish that by Tuesday. And then I want to start and hopefully finish The Bride Test by Helen Huang. That is another book that's part of my TBR for the month of September, and it's also part of the Magical Readathon, I believe. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. I do want to try and finish that as well. There's only about 250 pages in that book, so I'm hoping to finish that, although if I don't finish it, it's not a big deal. I think that's pretty much it. Also, I have been working on it's kind of like a side project, but it's really important. So I'm kind of working with Lucas a little bit, but it's mostly on my end because it's stuff that I really have to research on kind of the jobs in the cities that I want to look into as far as changing my careers. So in case you don't know, the whole reason why I'm going into graphic design, getting another degree for it, is because I really want to kind of change careers. I'm kind of having a hard time with the career that I'm in right now. I really want to leave it, to be honest. And I don't know when exactly I will be able to, but I'm hoping that when I graduate next December, that I can have another job lined up so that I can just go from one job to the next. But in order to do that, I need to do a lot of research on like the companies, the type of jobs that I'm looking for, where I'm okay with moving to, what I have to do for my portfolio, submit with my resume. All of that stuff I have to do a lot of research on. And to be able to stay organized with it, I'm actually making a cork board. Like, there's a giant cork board that I have that I'll actually show you here in a second. I came up with like the layout for what I kind of want to do for the cork board. And basically, I want to kind of have like a lot of, I don't know, different like little sections on the board to kind of make it easier for me to see everything that needs to be done and to kind of help declutter my thoughts of like everything I need to do research on. Again, it's kind of off to the side. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to work on it this week because of just how busy I am with school. But it's really important that I start doing the work for that, because I really need to start actually applying to jobs probably by the end of this year, to be honest. If I want to try and get another job by the end of next year, I really need to do the work now. I did a little bit of that this weekend. I'm hoping to do a little bit more of it this week. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about, though. I'll do like a little quick video of what the board looks like. I think that's pretty much all I want to talk about right now. So I will check back in with you either later today or starting tomorrow, the official start for this vlog, and yeah, kind of give you an update on what I'm up to. Okay, so sorry about the lighting and sorry about my voice. I know I might sound a little raspy. I've been doing a lot of recording recently, but I just want to quickly show you what the board looks like. This is a very rough kind of layout of what I want to have on the board. So it's like, you know, generic kind of cork board. I have it on my writing or my art desk at the moment. So just kind of go through a little bit of the layout. I'm gonna have a map of the US right here, and I'm gonna have a bunch of different squares kind of around the map, and I'm gonna have each square be kind of just a little bit about like the city that I'm thinking about moving into, and just to go into a little bit more detail about like the cost of living for that city, how far away is it from where we currently live right now, what do they have there as far as like museums and like attractions and stuff like that, and what schools are in the area. The reason I want to look at that is because Lucas is currently at school right now for graphic design as well. I want to make sure that like if we do end up moving before he's done with his bachelor's, which I think is very possible, that he has a really good school to be able to transfer into. So then right here, these kind of like thinner sections, this one's going to be the different jobs that I'm interested in going into. So like design book covers or video game design, like those kind of generic jobs. And then over here, I'm going to have like a list of companies that I'm interested in. So like maybe like Tor for the books or like Blizzard for the video games. Over here, there's a lot of stuff that we have to do for the house that needs to be kind of like fixed or cleaned up or whatever if we're going to end up moving. It's stuff that we have to do regardless if we're moving or not. So I have made a list that I'm going to put right here with like check boxes that we'll just check off whenever we get them done. I just wanted to like have like a little bit of a layout as far as like our finances, just to kind of make sure that we're at a good point in our finances at the moment to just prepare for potentially moving. And then this is going to be a list of the stuff that I have to include in my portfolio. So like I've never made a portfolio before for art. So I want to make sure that like I have a list of like generic stuff that are usually incorporated in portfolios, and kind of like a checklist as well to kind of say like, oh yeah, I've made a project like that. I have a project like that, such and such. And then finally in this corner, we'll have a calendar. It will be like a generic calendar that you flip through, and I'll have important dates like school terms, like when school terms start and end, holidays, work, important events that are going on right now, and just other important dates like if I have an interview for a job or what have you. But yeah, so that's pretty much the layout. I'll keep you updated on what this looks like as I work on it. Again, I probably won't work too much on it this week, but as I make things and update this board, I'll show it to you in case you're interested. Hello everyone, it is now September 14th, Tuesday, and I am just going to be doing a quick recap just to let you know what's going on right now. It's been a crazy week already. I've been trying to get as much work as I can done with my schoolwork because it's just been nuts. I actually just started working today on my Milestone for my communications class because there's a bunch of stuff that we have to get done for that class this week for the Milestone. And basically, like, the biggest thing that we have to do is we have to look at the artifact that we had chosen, the advertisement that we chose for our final project, and kind of like critique it like we did with the homework assignment from last week. So I actually was just working on that just recently. I have almost 2 slides done for the presentation that we have to make for it, and we have to have 4 slides ready before the end of the week. I want to try and get it to my professor as soon as possible because she said that she would like review it and let us know if there's anything that we should tweak before we like really submit it. So I'm trying to get that done. I'm hoping to get it done tomorrow. I'm kind of halfway done now, and I figured I'd do the other half tomorrow morning. And so I worked on that. I just recorded another episode of Pokemon. I think it's episode 12 that I just recorded. So got through quite a bit of the game in that episode. It was actually a little bit of a longer one. It was fun to play, honestly. I just enjoy playing Pokemon just for, you know, a break sense in a way, even though it is content for this channel. I just really enjoy playing it so much that, like, it is a break to me. So I recorded an episode of that. We made lasagna today for lunch, which I'm really happy about. It was a store-bought one. It wasn't like I made it from scratch, but it was a vegetable one, and it was so good. Like, I'm so happy that we made that. I made it earlier in the day so that way it would be done for lunchtime, and it was so good. Like, we're definitely gonna get that brand. It's the Wegmans brand. We're gonna be getting that from now on because it's so good. But anyway, so we made that for lunch, and I also finished Legendary last night, so that's a big reason why I wanted to update you real quick. So it's the second book in the Caravel series, and honestly, I loved it a million times more than the first book. I ended up giving it 4 stars, although it was probably closer to a 4.5 star book, to be honest, because it just had so much, like, the plot was just so much more interesting. Tell as a main character was so much better than Scarlet, honestly. The moments when Scarlet was in the story, I was kind of like, ugh, because I just did not, I realized how much I don't like her as a character. I think that's the main reason why I didn't like Caravel, the first book, was because she was the main character. But with Tella being the main character, like, she was just so much more interesting. There was so much more of a dynamic between her and the other characters. And honestly, the, like, plot twist at the end, because I was expecting there to be a plot twist like there was in Caravel, there sure was a plot twist, and I wasn't expecting it. And let's just say that it really leads up to the third book. Like, the third book, I think, is going to be the best out of the 3, which is really cool to be able to think that, like, you know, like, the trilogy just progressively gets better. Again, I wish that Caravel, the first book, was a little better so that it could have, I don't know, gotten me motivated to want to read the second book sooner, because now that I have read the second book, I absolutely loved it, and I really want to get to the third book sooner rather than later now, third book being finale. So I really enjoyed that. I finally finished that, gave it 4 stars. I started reading The Bride Test last night, which is the next book in my TBR, and that's by Helen Huang. It's kind of a continuation of her, like, Kiss Quotient. I don't know if there's like if there's a name to the series. It's not even really a series. Like, there's like some characters that kind of bleed into each of the stories, but they're their own stories for each of them. I just started reading that. I got about 23 pages into that last night, and I'm hoping to get to maybe page 100 tonight, because I do have a lot of schoolwork I want to do during work, but I don't have as much, like, intensive stuff as I did yesterday. I was trying to get a lot done yesterday, so I should have a lot of time to read. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys this quick update that I finished a book and that I got a lot of schoolwork done. I'm hoping tomorrow to give you guys a little bit bigger of an update, just to kind of give you a little bit more input on, like, what's going on with the Bride Tests, with reading that, and also to give you guys a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing with school. But yes, I think that's pretty much it. So I will check back with you a little later. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Or I should say welcome back to myself. It's been about a day. It is now Wednesday, September 14th, and I just got back from the gym. I was able to finally go work out. It's been, like, I don't know, a couple days since I've worked out. As you know from my two updates ago, I wasn't able to work out on Monday because of my car issues. I do have an update for that. Turns out it's just a couple wires that were damaged, I guess, from between, like, the computer and the engine. I know nothing about cars, so, like, I don't really know much about, like, what that exactly does. Like, apparently it caused those, like, 20 errors or codes or whatever to pop up on my car. They just said it was, like, 5 damaged wires, so they're going to fix that. There's a couple recalls in my car. It's a Ford Focus. I'm sorry if you like Fords, but I absolutely hate my car. Only because of the transmission, like the other issues that a lot of the Focuses and, like, I think Fusions have with Fords. The transmission is just not good. I haven't liked my car because of those issues, although I absolutely love my car for other reasons. There's, like, recalls that have been popping up, like, over the last couple years, and I just haven't bothered to go check them out because, like, I think the one was just about a door locking problem, but, like, I never open my door when I'm driving anyway, so it wasn't a huge deal. And then there was one other issue. I forget what the other recall was. It was another minor one. But they figured they might as well check out the recalls and get that settled while it's in the shop. So I don't know how long it's going to be until I have my car, but I'm borrowing my dad's car right now, so I do have transportation, obviously, since I was able to work out. So that's thankfully not nearly as bad as it could have been. It's going to cost about $500, which it's expensive. Like, I didn't necessarily want to spend $500 fixing my car, but I'd preferred that over having to get a brand new car. Because honestly, even though I don't like my car that much when it comes to, like, mechanical things, I do really love my car, and I still want to keep it, and I didn't want to be forced to have to get a new car now. I wanted to wait, like, a year or two until, like, I figure out all this stuff with my job and stuff. Like, I kind of wanted to make sure I knew where I was at you know, once all this is done, once my schooling is done, once I know if I have a new job or anything like that. I wanted to know where I was at before I had to get a new car. So thankfully that wasn't nearly as bad. Gonna be getting my car hopefully before the end of the week. Maybe next week, I have no idea. Other than that, I had started reading more of The Bride Test yesterday, and I love this book so much. So I had read The Kiss Quotient months ago, and I'm really sad that it took me so long to be able to read the next book that Helen Huang had written, because I just loved The Kiss Quotient so much. Like, it was so, so good. If you don't already know, The Kiss Quotient, it has autism rep, and because she has autism too, Helen Huang, the author, and she kind of incorporates autism, like her life experiences with the, you know, condition in her main characters. And so in Kiss Quotient, the main female character had autism, and like it was really cute how she, like, I don't know how she struggled with some things, but how like the love interest was kind of like working with her on those issues, and like it just was a really cute kind of dynamic between the two. In The Bride Test, both characters, I'm pretty sure, have a form of autism, and they're kind of like dealing with each other's idiosyncrasies and, like, you know, kind of being irritated in a sense by each other. Specifically the male character. I'm sorry, I'm awful with names. I can't remember exactly what the character's name, but I think his name's Kai. He is very annoyed by Nesma's like idiosyncrasies and like why she does certain things and how she's like kind of getting in the way of his life, like getting in the way of his routines and his, like, you know, why it makes him happy, you know, to not be happy in a sense. And so it's really cute to see like their dynamic as you kind of like progress through, I don't know, just like them living together and like having issues with each other, but like Nesma trying to fall, like not necessarily trying to fall in love, but trying to get him to love her so that she can marry him and stay in America and bring her daughter from Vietnam to America. It just like the scenes between them have been so cute. There was this one scene, it wasn't really spoiling too much, that was within like the first 70 pages of the book, but there was this one scene where she was gonna try on his cousin's wedding dress because it was beautiful, like the most beautiful dress she's ever seen. And so she really wanted to try it on. No one else was in the area, so she took off her dress and she was gonna put it on, but she couldn't reach it because she's very tiny. And before she could reach it, she heard like footsteps coming towards her. So she kind of freaked out, and so she ran over to a closet. And this is in like a big hotel or something like that. So she ran over to a closet and like shut the door. And she's like pretty much naked. She only has underwear on because she left her dress on the floor. Turns out the person that was walking in was Kai. And so he came in, he started reading a book. And she's like, oh crap, I'm gonna be in here for hours if I don't just go out. And she's like getting herself up to like go out and like, you know, apologize and like kind of explain like why she's naked and why she's in the room in the first place and all that. But before she can do that, another couple were about to come into the room. They could hear the noises of them like making out and stuff like that. And so Kai kind of freaked out. So he ran over to the closet, opened the door, saw Nesma naked, but then like ran in anyway because like he obviously had to hide before this couple that I don't know if they like necessarily knew who they were, but they were part of like the wedding party, came in, were starting to like make out, and they actually did, you know, do the thing in the room. And so Kai had to hide in the closet with Nesma, who was pretty much naked, and he noticed that and he was like freaked out about it, and there was like some weird sexual tension between Nesma and Kai and the people that were, you know, in the other room. It was so awkward, but it was so funny of a scene. I absolutely died laughing while I was reading it. Like I was reading it last night before I went to bed, and it probably wasn't the best scene for me to read before bed because I just was like, it was just so funny to have read it, and it was getting me like, I don't know, it was getting me happy and like excited, and it was just so funny. But there's a lot of scenes like that. Helen Huang does a really good job writing these kind of situations that are very realistic, like kind of realistic, I guess. Like that kind of stuff doesn't normally happen in real life, I guess, but like at the same time, she makes it kind of realistic in how she writes it, and just the reactions of these characters are so human. Like they're just so genuine and so funny. I absolutely love it. So I'm really enjoying the book so far. I'm about a third of the way done. I'm about at page 110 right now, and I think there's like 300 pages of the book. So I'm about a third of the way done. I'm hoping to read another 100 pages today if possible. Other than that, I actually got quite a bit done with my schoolwork too. So the main focus from yesterday was to work on my graphic design homework, specifically working on the like kind of like a mood board kind of thing for my final project. And so I think I described it either earlier in this vlog or in the last vlog, I can't remember. But basically the final project for my graphic design class is that we have to come up with a business name, and then in like block lettering, we have to have like textures and colors and pictures that kind of collage within it. And it's all supposed to like base around this business. So like the kind of themes, the kind of, you know, like textures and color schemes and like all that associate with the business itself. And so what the professor wanted us to do was come up with like a mood board, kind of showing like the color palette that we want to work with, some pictures that we might want to put into the collage, the typography, like the fonts that we might want to use, textures we might want to use, like all that kind of stuff kind of laid out all in one poster or whatever. And so I'll show a picture here. I think I might have showed it a little bit earlier while I was explaining it. A picture of like what my mood board turned out to be. I'm actually really proud with it. It took me hours to work on yesterday. Like, it might not seem like it's something that would take that long, but I really wanted to like try really hard with it, obviously. Like, I'm really trying to get the most out of these classes. So I worked really hard to work on it. I ended up picking, so what I had done was I color picked the monogram that's in the middle of it. It has WC, which the company I want to call that I actually am kind of running already is Wizards Craft. So I had a WC monogram with like this purple lilac kind of color circle. And so what I did was I color picked that purple because I really love that color. It's like a really like pastel lilac kind of color. I color picked it, and then I found out that there is an Adobe website that's like a color wheel, like a color picker, and helps you basically create palettes based on like if you want to create like secondary color palettes, or like I think they're called square complementary, or like neutral, or like there's so many different types of color palettes to be created with a color. And Photoshop gives you like the hex number, the like Pantone code for whatever color you pick or whatever's close to that color. So what I did was I color picked that kind of lilac color, and then I put it into the website, and I was trying to figure out like a bunch of different combinations of like different color palettes that could work with that color. And I'll actually go ahead and show you a picture of what all of the different variations of color palettes that I had chosen with that color, or with like two other colors that I had in mind coming from the other pictures from my collage. And I was actually like, some of them were really interesting. I really liked a lot of them. But I ended up choosing the one that's on my mood board because it had a lot of like earthy tones, and it worked really well with like the other pictures that I have in my collage, like naturally. Like, I didn't even pick those colors, it kind of just naturally came up. And so I really liked those colors, so I picked that color palette for the mood board. As far as the pictures are concerned, two of them you would have recognized from the picture that I had created last week in that class. One of them is like me at this like botanical garden that we had went to, and the other one is of me at the Strand bookstore in New York City when we had went to New York City. If you want to check out that vlog that I had made, I'll leave a card up here for you to check it out. So those are two pictures that I had taken from those. Another one is obviously the monogram that I was talking about, that circle. I had taken a picture at the same botanical garden of like this really cute cactus that I like really loved. It really had like great tones like of greens and like a little bit of browns. So I took a picture of that, and I wanted to incorporate that because I love succulents. And then the fourth picture that I had put, or the fifth picture that I put in that collage, was of this digital art that I had created. If you watch the Where the Magic Happens series that I put out, then you would recognize it from episode 1 or 2. I can't remember which one it was. Either the end of episode 1 or sometime in episode 2. There is a background that I created of like this mushroom cave, and I really loved how it turned out, and I kind of wanted to have that be part of the collage because it kind of shows like that fantasy style that I really actually enjoyed producing. And I wanted that to be part of the collage to kind of show like that's the kind of style that I have, at least right now. So those are all the pictures that I had chosen. The textures, I chose like a denim texture because I really liked like that kind of rough but centric texture. And then I also chose like this weave kind of texture that I thought would look really cool. It kind of looks almost like clouds in a sense, but more of like a fabric kind of style to it. And then for the typography, I chose a number of different typographies. I can't remember off the top of my head what the fonts were that I had chosen, but I went through a bunch of different fonts. I even like looked up some other fonts that Adobe has, and I had written out Wizards Craft and also WC for the monogram, and I just wrote them out in the different fonts that I thought might work out. And the whole point of the mood board is to not only kind of help me visualize all this stuff, but we also had to post it in a discussion board for our classmates to look at and to kind of critique, to tell us what they liked, what they didn't like, what their opinions are as far as like the different fonts and the different textures and like all that stuff. So I'm really happy I was able to get that done yesterday. It took a while, but I'm really proud of how it turned out. Hoping to get some feedback from my classmates here in the next day or two so I can make some adjustments and like officially turn it in at the end of the week. Today I'm going to focus on doing a little bit more editing. I'm going to edit another episode of the Pokemon Black randomizer series. I'm probably going to edit more of this vlog and also edit the August wrap-up video that I had done for the book 2 part of my channel. I might start editing that, I'm not sure. But as far as school is concerned, I'm going to focus on working more on my PowerPoint presentation for my communications class, which is like the final project for that class. I have to work on more of that. I have to finish slide 3 and work on slide 4 for that, and that'll be the rest of that. I don't know if I'll finish that today, but I'll get as much as I can done. And I have to do some more readings for the communication class as well. There's like some textbook readings, and there's a video that we have to watch. So hoping to get all that done today. I'm not sure if I'll be able to finish it all, but we'll see. I'm feeling pretty motivated today. I had a really good start to the day, so yeah, I'm hoping to be able to get as much of that done as I can. And if not, then I'll continue that on tomorrow. I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for this update. So I will see you either. I'm tempted to do like a little bit of a montage of me working a little bit later today. But if you don't see any of that, then I will check back in with you hopefully tomorrow. Hi. So it is now September. I always get the dates wrong with this thing. It is now September 16th. It is Thursday. It is almost the weekend, which makes me really happy because it's been really crazy, honestly. I was very busy yesterday. I was talking yesterday about how like I was all motivated and that I was ready to get a lot of work done during work and everything. Man, when I went to work after I had to do a few things for the laser technician at my job, and so that took up until my dinner break. And then after dinner, I just felt so demotivated. Like I was just so tired last night. I still ended up getting a lot of work done. Actually, this morning I just finished the presentation for my community class. My communications class. So I was finally able to get that done. I turned that in. I was really happy with finally being able to finish that. I also answered some discussion posts for my graphic design class, kind of peer reviewing a couple of my classmates' work for that collage that I was talking about earlier in the vlog. And there were some really cool spreads that some of my classmates had put together. One of them did kind of this like monochromatic kind of, I don't know exactly what you call it, like Edgar Allan Poe, Salem Witch Trial kind of an esque feel to all of it. And then another person did kind of like a book publishing company kind of a feel with like this cotton candy grape kind of like aesthetic, like grape purples and like magentas and like those kind of colors with like books and a typewriter and like kind of like written note paper aesthetic, like all of that kind of mixed into the collage. So those two examples are really cool. I commented on those and I talked about how like I really enjoyed them and gave some feedback on like what I thought they could be better with that. And I've read a few comments on my own collage and like the feedback from that. One of the comments was that there were some people that were a little confused on what the cactus was representing in the collage, and I'm probably gonna end up taking it out. The reason why I included a cactus was because like I really love drawing succulents, so I was thinking like, oh, that would be something that I would want to make products of, with my company. And although that's true still, like I'm not gonna take that away from my vision. I don't know if that necessarily works with like the vision of the collage itself. Like, yes, it's an aspect, it's a product that I want to create. It just doesn't really work as well with the flow of the rest of the collage from what I've seen from like the people's opinions, and also from what I've seen when I've like critiqued it myself and looked at it. So I'm probably gonna get rid of that. I'll probably include like another illustration that I've done that's fantasy based. I'll have to look through my illustrations and see which one I think would work best, or maybe I'll even draw a different one this week and kind of include that with the collage, or I'll just get rid of it entirely and like add it in later on if I do really want to make one myself over the next couple weeks. But so besides that, everyone really enjoyed like my collage. They really appreciated like the colors that I chose. They thought it was very earthy, very like fantastical. They really liked the pictures that I chose, and they liked the typography that I chose. They specifically liked the one on the far left and the bottom right. Those two were like the big contenders, the ones that like people thought was like the best. I'll have to look through it myself before I make my final draft of the collage to be sent for grading, and see which ones I really like the most, because it actually has been a few days since I've like actually actively looked at my collage. So I was able to finish that this morning and kind of look at the collages. I did read a little bit of the Bride Test last night, although I didn't read as much as I wanted to. I read about 60 pages last night. So I'm over the halfway mark now. I have about 120 pages left to the book. I would love to finish it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, because I have to work on my like this activity that I have to do for communications, which is kind of leading up to what our next part of the presentation that we have to work on is for our final project. And that's basically analyzing like the intended audience of the artifacts that we chose, and also what kind of lessons, what's the message for the artifact, like what is the intended message from the advertiser, from the agency, and what's the message that you as the viewer, as the content analyst, is interpreting from the message itself, or from the advertisement. So we have to do kind of like a practice with that, and kind of write 3 or 4 paragraphs just kind of explaining what we think from this like practice example that we worked at last week. And then next week we're going to be doing the exact same thing for the artifact that we chose for that one that I had showed you earlier. We have to basically continue on with the presentation that we worked on this week. So I'm probably going to try and work as much as I can on that activity. I might not be able to finish it only because it's a lot of typing, and I can only type so much. My hands start to really hurt after typing for a while, so I have to take a lot of breaks. So I might not be able to finish it today, but I definitely will finish it tomorrow morning. So that's my main focus tonight, is to work on that, to read as much as I can of the Bride Test, because that book is getting so good. They finally kissed towards the middle of the book, which I was kind of expecting, because that's usually the kind of like layout, the kind of flow that these contemporary books usually have. Is they like, if it's a situation where they're not like in love with each other at the very beginning, or there's like something in between them, that usually by the middle or like a little bit past the middle of the book is when they'll finally kiss, or when finally something will happen to kind of instigate stuff. But that scene that they kissed at was not what I was expecting it to be. Not in a bad way at all. Like, there's actually a lot of drama happening right now because of like how it played out, and I don't want to talk about it too much. If you ever want to read the book, I don't want to spoil it for you. But that scene was very interesting. It was very steamy, but also cringy in some cases. I read that last night, and it's just so good. But yeah, I'm kind of sad that I wasn't able to read more than I did yesterday. So I would love to finish it today. I don't know if I will be able to. It's on my to-do list to finish it, but I probably will end up having like 30-40 pages left, and I'll finish it tomorrow. Which would still be amazing to be able to finish it before the weekend, because then I can focus on starting to read Middle Game by Shauna McGuire, which is my next book in my TBR. It's also part of the Magical Readathon. TBR is actually the second prompt for that, so I'll officially be finished with the Magical Readathon. We only have to read two prompts worth of books to be able to fulfill it. I already have read 2 prompts, but it's not in sequence. Like, once I read this one, then I'll have had read 3 books, because I believe the 3rd book that I had read that was part of that was Yoke. Yoke was the 3rd prompt for the Magical Readathon, so I kind of technically already read 2, it's just not in the right order. Once I read Middle Game, that's the 2nd prompt in the Magical Readathon, so I'm hoping to start that this weekend. I'm hoping to start it tomorrow if possible, but we'll see. So yeah, that's my plan for reading. And then, like I said, I'm going to be working on that communication activity. And I also want to try and edit a bit more today. So I just updated the vlog edits. I've been trying to edit the vlog throughout this week, except for this clip, obviously. So I'm caught up with the vlog clips, except for this one. I am almost done editing the August wrap-up video, which is way late. Like, I usually get that out the first or second weekend of the month. It is now going to be the third weekend of the month, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it up this weekend. So it probably will come out it'll probably come out Thursday of the week that you're watching this vlog. So stay tuned for that. So I'm editing that right now. I have about 15 minutes left to edit on there, so that'll probably take me like half an hour or so to finish editing that. I will try and finish that tonight. I should have time to finish it, but we'll see. So yeah, other than that, that's quite a bit of stuff that I'm trying to get done this today. I feel a bit more motivated today. I definitely got more work done this morning, and it made me really happy. I took a little bit of a break this morning. I watched the newest episode of American Horror Story. It's the season 10 Red Tide kind of double feature season. I absolutely love American Horror Story. I'm enjoying the season so much, and I'm really curious to see how they include aliens in it, because in case you don't know, the first half of the season has to do with the vampires in double feature, and then I think there's a second half that has to do with aliens, because that's how they kind of advertised it. It was like aliens and vampires mixed together. I don't know exactly how the aliens tie in, because I think that's like a whole second half of the season. So I'm really curious to see how that turns out. But this newest episode, episode 5, was really, really crazy. Like, a lot happened. Some people died. We'll just say that, just to kind of spoil just a tiny bit. Some people died, and it was really intense, and I'm a little sad with some things that happened, but I'm also like really amped up to see what happens next. It almost kind of felt like it was the end of this, but I know it isn't, because there's just so much more left in the season, I'm sure. So I took a break and I watched that, and I'm really happy that I did, because it just lightened up my mood even more this week. So that goes to show you, taking breaks is really important. Other than that, I'm just going to do a couple of chores real quick before I go to work. I'm filming this right before I go to work too, so I just have to get a couple of things done real quick before I go. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to tell you. So yeah, doing well so far, staying productive, getting a lot of work done, and hopefully before the weekend I will be able to say that I've accomplished a lot. So yeah, next time I check in with you will probably be on my way home from the gym. Hello everyone. So it is now Friday, finally, the 17th of September, and I just wanted to do a quick recap. Sorry, I can't really get good angle for some reason. So I just wanted to do a quick recap. I just got back from the gym. It was really good. I'm going to try to go to the gym again tomorrow, because I have to. So part of the program for my work, something that I actually really like about the job that I have, is that they have a reimbursement program for going to the gym, for like staying fit and for being healthy. One of the requirements for it is that you have to go to the gym 80 times in the year. Now, because of COVID, it was kind of hard to do that at the beginning of the year, and I don't know why they didn't limit the amount of time that you had to go, because last year they had dropped it down to like 40 times in the year, because obviously it was quarantined for majority of it. I think it was even less than that, maybe 30. But this year, for some reason, they didn't limit it. They made it back to the 80 times you have to go, even though, like, I couldn't even go to the gym until April or May, somewhere around there, or at least I didn't feel comfortable enough to go. So we have to go 80 times. I've only gone 28 times this year, and it is September, so I have to go to the gym at least 3 times a week, but I have to go 4 times a week for a couple weeks to, like, kind of catch up to those, like, days that I'm missing. So I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow just to run for a little bit. Like, we don't have like a limit that we have to be there for. Like, we don't have to be there for 30 minutes or anything like that. It's just like we just have to go to the gym, and like clock in and everything. So I'm going to probably go tomorrow just to go for a run, maybe for like a 10-minute run, just to kind of be able to have that be, counted for a day. There's Mason. Hey, baby. So I'm gonna probably go tomorrow, but I went today. It was really good. I actually really enjoyed it. It's really nice out, even though it's really overcast at the moment. I just want to let you know, I finished my communications homework last night, which is what I was hoping to do. It didn't actually take me long at all. In fact, because I didn't take too much time on my schoolwork, I was able to finish The Bride Test by Helen Huang. I read about like 130 pages yesterday of it to finish the book, and it was worth every page. I mean, I originally wasn't going to finish it. Like, I wanted to finish yesterday, but I wasn't sure if I really had the time to, or like the energy to, because it's just been such a long week. But it was so good. Like, I was like begging myself to read more, honestly, because of just how good it was. The ending was exactly what I thought it would be, but the way it ended was not, in a really good way. Like, it was just so wholesome, and it had some twists that I was not, well, kind of expecting, but not in the way that they happened. So I really appreciate the ending. I thought it was really good. I ended up giving it 5 stars, no surprise. So now I'm starting middle game, and I'll tell you more about that probably tomorrow for my last update. But there really isn't much else to say. I just wanted to let you know that I finished the bride test, and I'm going to continue working. I'm going to finish my homework today and probably start working on that bulletin board that I was talking about in the beginning of this vlog. So I will check back in with you later. Hey everyone, it is now Sunday. It is technically past the week of my vlog, but I just wanted to quickly just have a quick outro for you guys. Wasn't able to record anything yesterday. It was pretty busy, so I unfortunately wasn't able to really get many clips, but really we didn't really do too much anyway. I just got a couple more things of work done, and then we went shopping for a little while in the morning. That's kind of our usual thing that we do on Saturdays. Yeah, so we pretty much didn't really do much. We just kind of relaxed, and I got some work done. We played D&D. We didn't play Monster of the Week this week just because Lucas had a little bit more homework he had to try to get done before the end of the night. So we weren't able to play Monster of the Week, but we did play Dungeons & Dragons. It was a really, really good night campaign. This was episode 5 once it comes out eventually for you guys. So it was really fun. We had a lot of fun. They got through quite a few things. And they also had reached a milestone in this campaign episode, so that was really cool. But yeah, so it was a really fun night. I really enjoyed it. I think they really enjoyed it too. And yeah, I just finished a quick workout. I just ran for a little bit. I'm trying to do a little bit more with like running and stuff, just because I really need to. Honestly, like I'm pretty out of shape when it comes to running. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I just wanted to say thank you for watching this vlog. If you enjoyed it, please like it. Please subscribe to my channel if you want more content from me. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.